Hello everyone, Rimea here, and welcome to the 8th part of my playthrough of Cloudy Super Mario Bros. U 2. So we've made it to World 7 of this mod, which is about 40 levels long. And if you're not aware, this is the big New Super Mario Bros. U mod that I've been working on for quite a few years now, and it finally released a couple weeks ago at this point. And yeah, like I said, we're at World 7 now. We played through World 6 and 5, and also I guess the part of World 1 that's there beforehand. And yeah, without further ado, let's play 7-1, Bouncy Cloud Bastion. So this is an interesting level. This is probably, yeah, this is the first level I ever made with like this tile set and stuff. And that basically meant that this was the first level I made kind of knowing what this mod was going to be, which is, Cloudy 2. As opposed to some of the earliest levels for the mods, which were actually made like not entirely, like just kind of randomly, or like thinking I might, include these levels in like Super Mario Evolution or whatever. This was a level where I made like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make Cloudy 2, and yeah, it's probably made like late 2019, therefore maybe early 2020. So yeah, that's interesting, I think. Overall, I think this level is fine. I'm not a huge fan of the second half, and there's some other things that I don't love about it. But yeah, overall it's pretty decent. It definitely has a unique vibe with the way it has like the large zoom and stuff, and like it feels very expansive in that way, like just like very large areas, kind of like very unique, but also still I think quite traditional in some ways as well. Of course, we have the this like brick athletic tile set, which is very much inspired by the one in New Super Mario Bros. 2 in a couple levels as well. And yeah, just big fan of the way that tile set looks, and I think it makes the the cloudy world in this cloudy mod feel a little bit more unique than just standard athletic stuff like it was in the original Cloudy. However, I also made sure that not every single level is like a cloudy temple thing, because of course that theme would slowly get boring probably. So yeah, there's only like, I guess it's like 4 temple stages and 2 normal athletic stages in this world at least. And there's also 2 more normal athletic stages in other worlds, like with the clouds and stuff. So yeah, already just as I was talking, got the first dark one, which is that little like bonus room thing with the power block. It's very simple, but it works. And it has that like kind of weird laser entrance thing, which is kind of just meant to be like that because of the window you can see the player through. So yeah, I like this bonus thing here. So throughout this first section, you've got all these bouncy clouds and like sections where you jump over stuff, and that's all well and good. But then here, if you jump on this bouncy cloud, it actually starts moving right, which is an unused feature from the original game. And there's also an arrow pointing right to kind of indicate that there might be something up instead of you're just supposed to go through the pipe right away. And here there's an invisible question block, so you can hit this fine. The reason this block isn't just like a normal question block is because then you could ground pound it and you could kind of like, get yourself stuck or whatever. It's a funny little random bonus room I did. So because of the New Super Mario 2 inspiration, I guess, I included this golden ship section here, which is of course, I would say inspired. It's basically just taken from New Super Mario 2. Though it is this whole thing was remade, but it is still like remade to look exactly like the one from New Super Mario 2. So yeah. Also got this like hole thing in the middle, which is kind of funny because in the original game I think there was like golden shells and stuff which you could go into the hole, or like enemies or whatever, but now it's kind of useless. But then like later on in the section after this, we're gonna use that hole in the middle to go through the pipe. And just in general, the way this whole thing here works is there's like a bunch of different movement controlled blocks which are like invisible, that just gives this thing the proper collision, including the semi-solid stuff. And then there's just one thing which was remodeled to replace, it'd be replaced with this big ship. And yeah, so it's just a whole big path control element. Yeah, just give the player a bunch of coins and stuff. Of course, very much New Super Mario 2 inspired. The golden ship level, which was also in World 7. Or, well, it wasn't in World 7, it was in the athletic world of that game. I think it was like World 4? Or 5? I think it was World 4 actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, you just saw we fell down here. If you don't get the golden ship section, you'll just end up at this pipe here, and the ship won't fall down. But yeah, we also crushed the wallowing, which I thought was funny. But yeah, so the hole in the ship here is now in order for you to go into this pipe. Here I eject the player right onto the bouncy cloud to make sure that the bouncy cloud starts moving right away, so it's like synced like the same way always. Of it being reliant on the player, like doing exactly what I expect them to. Also, I just killed myself, and also my controller disconnected. Cool. So if you die and respawn, you also respawn right here, because, well, there's no reason to be in that previous section. There's no power-ups or anything. What I was trying to do as I was dying there was going down below here, because the arrow also indicates this. You can actually jump down here and get this second bouncy cloud to move with the... Okay, wow, I'm doing really well. I guess as I've already demonstrated now, I would say that this level is also kind of the skill check level, you could say, where we're really gonna try and test the players. Can I please not do the same thing 3 times in a row? Oh my god! Alright, there we go. As I was saying, this level is kind of meant to be like, well, especially this section is kind of purposely difficult to make sure that the player kind of gets ready for the difficulty that will be throughout the second half of the mod, I suppose. That's an interesting, oh, there we go, there's equal suit. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this level as well. Oh, I didn't even mention the Goombas with the balloons, which I think some people might think are like custom elements. They're not. They're from the original Beanstalk level in the original game. But I think a lot of people probably don't remember them. I honestly barely remember them as well. But yeah, I use those throughout this level, and especially in this zone, because I can make them like kind of like drop the Goombas onto this platform here, so that's nice. And that just happened there. But yeah, the acorn power up there also rolled onto the bouncy cloud platform. That's kind of funny. And in general, yeah, this is just like kind of a barrage of different enemies and obstacles and stuff for you to bounce over, and I think it's a pretty neat section. Definitely not multiplayer friendly, especially if you don't get the second bouncy cloud down below like that. But yeah, I also skipped over it because I was talking about other stuff, but the third star coin, you can get it without getting the lower bouncy cloud to come with you, but it's definitely like the recommended and intended way to get it is to just like jump on the other bouncy cloud so it moves along, and you can like go under the wall and get the third star coin. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the level, I'm not a huge fan of that second section. I think it's a little bit messy, a little bit... Why am I getting lag spikes? Okay, whatever. It's a little bit messy and a little bit, like, all over the place. Not as, like, interesting as the first half, I think. Alright, then on to 7-2, Bolt Shroom Bluffs. I think this is also one of the, like, you know, earlier levels I made, which was made, you know, for Cloudy 2 itself. Kind of like the other level as well. And I quite like this level, actually. It's quite, you know, simple. It's not super... It doesn't have any, like, huge complicated setups or anything. It's just nice and simple and, yeah, decent, I think. This whole, like, bonus pipe here is kind of an interesting thing. So a lot of my friends, especially, who are, you know, quite good at the game, so they'll try, like, random crap. They'll do something like... Not even that, actually. They'll do, like, a wall jump to get in here. You can do that without the Aegon suit as well. But the intended way to get down there is actually to go down like this, and then there's an arrow pointing left, and if you pay close attention to the bottom left of the screen... Wait, can I get rid of these guys? Okay. Yeah, you can see right there that you can see the bolt mushroom in the laser there already, so that's intentional. I kind of moved that over a little bit just so you can see that, and you can go like this. This is definitely an interesting bonus room. You can actually, I guess I'll demonstrate it. You can do this. Can I do this? Wait. Just wanted to... Okay, like do like something like that. Oh, and no, now I'm stuck. Oh no, what do I do? Oh no. I mean, I can probably get into the pipe. But what will really happen is if I wait a little bit longer. There we go. There's also some interesting setups here with, you know, you can spin the bolt shrooms and then the coins spawn in, and that's just with some precise timing. But that's the kind of thing that I think a lot of people aren't even going to notice it's there. But yeah, that's pretty complex stuff going on behind the scenes to make that happen. Something else I tend to do throughout a lot of levels is having like these kind of like slightly moving coins, just like moving left to right, moving up and down in the case of this level. Just kind of giving a little bit more life to the level. There's an interesting camera move here where like the camera like kind of pans down and zooms out, and that's just so you can, you know, actually see the blind question blocks down below, so it's not just a blind jump. I think some people might think that like, oh, maybe there's a secret up above because the camera does that little move, but no, that's just for the convenience of the player. But yeah, it's a little bit jarring, but I think it's better to have that than to, you know, not have that. There's an interesting setup where like you can kind of like move on, but then you realize you're kind of like stuck in this section. You can get up here with a triple jump, but of course the intended way is to once again, you know, spin this platform like this, and then oh, now we're using the flying question blocks to go with the spinning platform things. Wow, amazing mechanical progression, and yeah, you can go up like that. I feel some people are probably going to miss this midway, which I think is kind of funny. I kind of like the idea of slightly optional midways like that. I mean, Super Mario World also did it, I think, so it's fine. But yeah, you can spin this thing. But of course, because you could just make this jump without that platform, I think some people are going to be inclined to just like jump over this, like they don't care. But I'm hoping most people will get the midway regardless. It's also interesting how this level and the level like adjacent to this, 7-3, both use Boomerang Bros. I could say that that's some kind of like amazing like, oh, like mechanical combination of like, oh, both these levels are like brothers and they both use Boomerang Bros, and it's like all intended like that. But really, I didn't really think about that. It's just like happened to be how it worked out. This is another very simple, you know, classic kind of bonus room idea. Just have the platform, you throw the power block, you have to get the star coin before the platform lowers back down. This section here went through a lot of changes actually. In general, this level kind of had some changes done to it last minute because I didn't really like some of the setups. So for example, the way I got into this pipe here with the moving question block was changed last minute. But also here before there was like a thing with like a switch and a timed event tile god thing, and it was all just kind of jank and pointless, and I didn't really like it. I thought it was a bit too much for what was otherwise a pretty simple level, so I decided to get rid of it. But still, regardless of this level of simplicity, I would say it gets quite difficult at this point. Like this power creeper here can be quite a menace, and this boomerang row as well. And then later on we're gonna have another pretty interesting section as well. I'm gonna say yeah, it's a power up. I thought for a second it was a 1-up, but no, it doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, the shell here can get stuck like this, which I thought was kind of funny. Just the fact that that wall still counts. Even though shells can go over holes, I guess just because of the slope, it kind of curves just the slope as opposed to going over the hole like that. You can also, if you threw that shell at these minigoombas and they're all still alive, you could get like 2 or 3 1-ups. So I don't think most people are inclined to do that naturally. Yeah, and here's the epic mechanical combination of this level where we use the bolt platforms and the bulb mushrooms at the same time, and you can of course go into this pipe like this because of course you can. And then we have another one of those newer Wii-esque bonus room things with the boomerang bros this time. You know, it's very simple. Interesting how the boomerangs themselves don't seem to count towards the enemy limit. Also, you can actually jump down like this, by the way. So you end up back on the left here because I guess that does actually make sense because you jumped left off the pipe. This question block here, like the flying one down below there, used to be way harder. It used to also be moving left and right. Now it's just moving up and down. If you jump on it, you get some coins, which I think is just kind of funny. And then for the goal ball, you know, very simple thing with the flying question block. And yeah, overall I think it's a pretty decent stage, I suppose. Towards the end, that like last section gets a little bit jank again, I feel. But whatever, it's fine. Okay, now for 7-3 Gearbox Grind. This is another interesting level, also another very old one. I think this one was actually made before the other two that we've played in this part so far. Because this one was made like as like, I don't know, like Super Mario Evolution was originally going to have like a kind of like temple athletic level in World 7, but it wasn't going to be Sunset or anything, but still. And this level was made before that world originally, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, it went through so many changes in post-production. I think I went through and fixed up like parts of this level like 3 or 4 times throughout its development. And yeah, it's I guess it's fine. I don't know. I quite like the second half of the level still, but I think the first half is a little bit messy and just like not very focused. So the main mechanic for this level, of course, is these moving platforms, which are from the original game 7-Castle. But then I also kind of use them like, you know, like here where they fall down. And that's just because of there's this funny thing where they only actually have their gears inside of them rotate when they move horizontally, not when they move vertically. And because I noticed that, I decided, oh yeah, it would be funny if like, you know, like the vertical moving ones are like broken, so they fall down when you stand on them. So that's kind of where that idea like came from. However, yeah, I don't know. I just think like just the usages of the mechanics in this level is kind of all over the place. There's a green coin section here. Yeah, I don't know. Also, the tiling in this level is very different from a lot of the other levels because, like I said, it was originally designed with like a whole different theme and tile set in mind, and that's why you have these more like skyscraper kind of style of structures in the background here. Yeah, it's a bit different, but oh well. This section here with like hitting the switch and stuff was added after the level's already completed because I felt that the first half was a little bit short, and yeah, I guess it's something. I do like this here where like you can kind of like wall jump into here like that. You can also, of course, just use the propeller shroom. This bonus room was probably the last thing changed for this level, because originally this was just a bonus room where you fell down and collected some coins, but now there's actually these like boomerang bros on the side, and it's a little bit more challenging. And I also like the kind of like troll here where, oh, like, whoa, where's the star coin? I thought I would get a star coin for that. And then you go back through the thing, and oh, hey, there's the star coin. I'm hoping, I haven't seen it happen yet, but I'm hoping people, like, maybe, like, forget that there wasn't a star coin there to begin with, and maybe they'll think like, oh, maybe like I forgot to actually collect the star coin when I went in there. I haven't seen that happen to any like playthrough people so far. Oh well. Yeah, very early midway. In general, this level is quite short, except for I guess like the bonus room at the end, which we'll get to later. Oh yeah, I just got that hidden block there. It's also indicated if you hit this break block here, some coins spawn, which then like leads you over here, and that's kind of fun, I guess. And if we go to this pipe, we get to like the final act of this level, which of course is kind of an auto-scroller, I guess you could say again, but not really. So you can see that you can already see the star coin up here before. You can actually get this star coin without even using the propeller shroom, but it's definitely the easiest to get it with one, which is fine because this level has a propeller suit in it. So yeah. Yeah, you kind of have this running section where each of these blocks falls down once you stand on it. Even had a little power-up there, though that power-up is only a mushroom if you're small, not like a propeller shroom, because of course you couldn't collect the propeller shroom while falling down like that. We also had a bit of a subversion there, because the block fell up instead of down. Then here's like probably the hardest thing in like the whole world possibly, is doing that little like wall jump skip there. But I haven't seen anyone being like taken aback by how difficult that is so far. I think people understand what you're supposed to do for the most part, and yeah, it's pretty neat, I think. And then for the final star coin, I think originally, God, where was the final star coin? I think it was just like down there to the right. But now it's a whole bonus room. So there's this pipe here, and I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, maybe I just jump up here and get the pipe, and yeah, that's how you get it. But of course not. Instead, there's a jump arc down below here, because every single like static one of these blocks in this level has so far like moved when you stood on it or when you hit a switch or something. And of course, the same also applies to this block. So if you stand on here, the whole thing falls down. Which you'd usually be standing on that block if you just like got the gold ball, but instead it falls down like this, you can go to the pipe. And this whole bonus room was added like in post-production, like years after the level was originally made, which is why it's kind of feels different from the rest of the level, I'd say. And this is of course very much inspired by 5 Dash Tower from New Super Mario Wii. It's kind of like a micro 5 Dash Tower, in fact. Yeah, I think it's fine. Fits with the level's mechanics and stuff, and kind of does something different with it still. Yeah, and like the wall jumping thing here, for example, is a very obvious usage of the mechanics. There's also an 8-bit cloud in the background right there. And there we go. And that's that level done. Like I said, I think it's fine, not amazing. I like the second half more than the first, even though the second half was kind of short. But yeah, I guess another quote-unquote skill check level, you could say, in terms of that second half there gets quite difficult, I'd say, especially the very end of it. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for this part of the playthrough. Next time we're going to be playing through the tower and then the ghost house and on from that. But I hope you enjoyed watching today, and I hope you tune in back next time. See you later, and bye bye.